His gaze slid coldly across the woman's face like a razor-sharp blade brushing against bare skin. In the end, his eyes fixed on the jade pendant she still held up, glimmering faintly in the dim light, as if silently judging his intent. Behind her stood a well-dressed woman, her posture filled with arrogance, a faint smile on her lips, but her eyes revealed pure contempt and mockery. She was the same woman who had taken her place after she was cast out of the palace. The moment she saw this scene, all strength drained from the woman's legs, and she collapsed to her knees on the ground. Her forehead pressed against the cold earth as her body trembled violently. She tried to speak, to explain in panic, but her words were instantly silenced by sharp voices. The soldiers surrounding her lowered their spears in unison, their cold tips aimed directly at her neck. In a corner, 3 small white dragons shrank in fear. The entire atmosphere was suddenly filled with the presence of death. Every word spoken pierced her heart like poison. Her body shook with humiliation and anger, yet she couldn't utter a single word. Suddenly, there was a rustling sound from the pile of wood behind. Before anyone could react, the 3 little dragons emerged. Everyone froze in shock. The tiny creatures walked straight toward the man, and one of them, gathering courage, gently touched his clothes. The moment was so unexpected that the entire place fell silent. The first to react was the elegantly dressed woman. Her expression shifted instantly, her contempt turning into fear and rage. At her command, the soldiers raised their spears again, this time aiming at the helpless little creatures. But at that very moment, the man stepped forward and stopped them with a single gesture. His voice was low, yet carried such authority that no one dared to defy him. Before everyone's eyes, he slowly bent down and reached out, gently touching the head of the smallest dragon. For a brief moment, a flicker of emotion appeared in his eyes, surprise, confusion, and a deep inner conflict. He neither questioned the jade pendant nor pronounced any punishment. He simply stood there, staring at the woman with unsettling intensity. Then, without saying a word, he turned and walked away with his soldiers. After he left, the woman remained frozen on her knees, clutching the pendant tightly in her hand. Silence spread everywhere, but the fear inside her grew even deeper. His indifference was not a sign of mercy, but a warning of something far worse to come. She had already heard stories of his cruelty, how people were destroyed over the smallest mistakes. A man like that choosing silence was far more terrifying. She understood clearly that if the reckoning came later, neither she nor her 3 children would survive. At that very moment, a desperate will to live rose within her, and she decided to flee. That night, she hurriedly packed her belongings, sewing whatever little savings she had into the children's clothes, so it could serve as their last hope if needed. All night, she stayed awake, holding the children close to her chest, alert at every small sound. At dawn, she woke them quietly and prepared to leave. With one hand carrying their belongings and the other holding her children, she slowly opened the door. But the sight outside made her freeze. The same well-dressed woman stood there, blocking the path with her people, sticks gripped tightly in their hands, their eyes filled with hostility. In that moment, the woman's heart sank completely. It was clear now, this had all been planned from the beginning. This was no longer just an escape attempt. It was a confrontation between life and death.